right, guys, on this one, we're talking how do I handle customer complaints and negative reviews? You're gonna get them, and the faster that you accept that, the better off you'll be, because they're gonna happen. You're not always gonna do everything right, and you're not always going to be able to please everybody. But there's a couple things that you should know when you do get them. Obviously, staying calm and not having a hot head. The worst thing that you can do is emotionally reply right in the moment, right off the bat. Yes, I get it. You need the review to come down or be changed or handle it ASAP because it looks bad for your business. But there's methods to get these reviews removed, whether it's Google, Facebook, anywhere, and there's a way to handle them, right? Where you're not lashing out in the public or having people see you as some crazy or psycho. So you wanna make sure that you take this and with one step at a time and understand that this is somebody that's emotional, this is some negative reviews or complaints that are coming in, and obviously have somebody else, maybe they're having a bad day and they're taking it out on you, right? You're the reaction to their actions that happened somewhere else. So two things that I will say right off the bat. Number one is I try to not be on the phones in my businesses. Why? Because as the business owner, I have all this invested interest. Everything that is going on in the business is because of me. And so I take it very personal, understanding that I take it personal, that when I get on the phone, if a customer has a complaint or something else, I'm going to come through the lens of, oh, wow, you're attacking me personally. When that's not their intent at all, I need to hear that complaint. So instead, I have one of my call takers record the call, which all calls are recorded for quality assurance. I know that sounds like the phone, but I do that so we can go back and we can listen to them. I can train, I can make things better. I can say, hey, you should have said this there or done this. And I want to make sure that the complaint is heard, because people have a couple of things on the psychology side of things. People want to be heard. They want to feel understood, and they want to get their message across. And the same thing happens with a complaint. Now, the best way to do this, and I pulled this from some training that I've been in recently, is socialize, minimize, rationalize, and then project. What do I mean? Somebody calls in, they have a problem about your product. And you go, I get it, I get it. You know, there's other people who would probably have the same thing with the same, or feel the same way with the same product. I understand that. It's not your fault. I would totally feel the same way if I was you as well. However, my goal is to fix this for you and to make sure that you have a better customer experience. And I get it. We should have done this right the first time. We had a lapse in the system, or you know, something happened and we had an oversight on this, or the product, you know, whatever the case may be. The product got shipped and was damaged during shipping, and I get it. I feel for you. It's them. You know, we can't control the shipping agency, but we're gonna do this and we're gonna help you out with this. So I just socialized it and just made it a bigger social thing, so it's not just them. I'm diffusing the situation. I rationalize with them and say, hey, I would have felt the same way. I get it. I understand you're mad. They're feeling hurt. I'm going to minimize this. Really, it's not a big deal. Like, it could have been worse and the product could not have shown up at all. I'm glad it showed up. I understand it's not what you want, or it didn't come out the way it did. So we're gonna do what we need to do to make it better. And then I'm projecting whatever the thing is onto the system, the process, another company, where it's taking the blame off of us, accepting the blame, but taking the focus off of it, where it's not solely based on us, and I'm really diffusing the situation. Now, tweak this as you will, but this is the best form and the best method that works, because again, they want to feel heard and they want to feel understood. And so if you can make them feel heard and understood, guess what? 9 times out of 10 that we've had pissed off customers, I get on the phone, it's actually a lot more than 9 times out of 10. I would say 97 times out of 100. We get on the phone, I get on the phone, and I diffuse the situation, and it actually turns out to be a better call than I ever expected. I understand from the customer, I hear their needs, wants, desires, their complaints. I take the feedback. I feel like I'm best friends with them once the phone hangs up. And guess what? They could come back. Most of the time they come back and they do more business with us in the future. And that's exactly how the calls turn on. And then you feel great about yourself and you feel that you just saved the business. However, getting on up front, and I do this, let me rephrase this and say this. I don't get on right away. I might hear the call, I might hear the complaint. I get a little jittery. I care about the business. Why wouldn't I, right? It'd be a lie if I told you, hey, I didn't care that somebody's talking trash about my business or my product or service. But at the end of the day, I don't respond right away. I let the emotions subside. I understand it. I realize that that's a cycle. I'm going to go into another cycle of the critical thinking, analogies, logic, you know, how do I resolve this problem? It becomes a math equation at that point. And then I get on the phone with the customer and I say, hey, I want to do good and I want to solve this for you. I feel for you. I understand this. I'm sorry about this. Blah, 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 socialize, minimize, rationalize, and project. And those are things that I will use on the call. And the majority of the calls, like I said, 97 out of 100, they go well, way better than I ever expected. And this is sometimes from a pissed off customer to not. Now, the 3 of those that are there, you do have customers that ultimately they're stuck in their ways and they're having a bad day and there's literally nothing you're gonna do to make it better. So you have to understand that going into the call as well, right? So stay calm, listen carefully. If you have reviews online, respond publicly with professionalism. The same thing. If you had the review, now there's GPTs out there that'll do this for you. You put in what your intent is. Hey, I want to respond to this review. We got a negative review. Here's my business. Here's what actually works best, in my opinion. Reviews contain keywords. Keywords bring marketing and bring traffic to your website, right? Yeah, it might be a bad review, but guess what? Turn a positive into a negative. I would prompt the GPT and say, here's my business, here's my keywords, here's the negative review we got. I would like to reply to this review in a manner that's professional, that understands the customer, makes them feel heard. I'm socializing it, I'm minimizing it, I'm rationalizing it, and I'm projecting, and give details on where you're projecting. But also I want to use these keywords in this review during my reply. The reply should be limited to 100 words or 2 sentences or 4 sentences, whatever it may be, excuse me. And then you have it write the review and then you personalize that. Don't just stick some AI stuff in there. Use it to help guide you and then rewrite it a little bit, keeping the keywords or edit it yourself and put it online. Now what did you do? Diffuse the situation, you heard the customer, you got keywords on there, and you're able to bring some traffic to it and utilize that in a best case scenario, right? Worst comes to worst and it doesn't work, so be it. Then try to get the review removed, but don't discredit it. Somebody's taking their time, remember this, somebody's taking their time to leave a review for you. They're leaving a review and they're showing emotion. Clearly they care, because the ones that didn't care wouldn't do anything at all. They would move about their business, they would go on to the next thing, they would probably flip you off in the rearview mirror and keep going. Right? These are people, regardless of a good or a bad review, it's somebody who cares. It's somebody who has emotion with your product and your service or your business, and they're showing you that emotion and they're taking their own time to do that. So at least give them the respect that they did that, because many people wouldn't, which would be a bad thing because you wouldn't know what's going on. You wouldn't have feedback on it to improve later on. They're actually helping you, believe it or not. So offer to resolve the issue privately where possible, right? That's what you want to do. You want to offer to resolve it. Hey, contact us. We'll be glad to help. I would be careful in public replies where you're offering certain discounts or anything like that. You can imply it, but always do that behind closed doors on a call. Why? People will exploit you. If you open that loop online, unfortunately, the way society is nowadays, somebody will see that. They'll know, oh, all I have to do is publicly shame this person or bitch about this company or this service, and they're just going to give me, some discounts later on, and it'll be a great day for me. F them. It will happen. Unfortunately, we have people that are like that. So try to keep yourselves out of that redundancy and that problematic situation. So negative reviews are basically, they're an opportunity to show future customers how you handle problems, who you are, and how that you're going to improve your products or services. This is your opportunity to really clarify things in there, right? And understand the customer and show that you understand them there. So responding framework, what I like doing is a couple of things. Acknowledge the experience, like we talked about, apologize if appropriate, even if it's just for their frustration, or never say, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Why? Because that comes off as very abrasive, right? Because you're saying, I don't care about your, what you think of this. I'm just sorry that you feel that way. And it's kind of a snotty comment. Don't do that. Understand them. Offer a path to resolution. I talked about this a minute ago. Make sure it's the right one. Socialize, minimize, rationalize, project. Make them feel heard. Make them feel understood. That's the framework here. Avoid arguments online. Some customers may still be pissed off. They want to publicly hurt you. You'll always lose in the court of public opinion. So if they do reply with something else negative, ask them to jump on a phone call, say, sir, ma'am, we've offered to help you resolve this amicably. We are still open for discussion. Leave it at that. because if you get into a war online of words, it's going to end badly. And again, the public opinion will weigh heavy on future sales of your business, right? So encourage happy customers to leave positive reviews and balance the narrative. Now, even though this was about customer complaints and negative reviews, what I like doing is every time a customer buys from our business, there's a certain URL that you can send them as a short link, but that automatically, if they're on Google and they're logged in, it will pop up a panel. It'll pop up the review panel where they click the star and they write the text and they click submit. 3 actions, super fast. I say, hey, if you wouldn't mind, would you please leave us a review? This link will take you directly to it, and it's as simple as a text message. I'm getting in their mind because nobody wants to go through the time to click and add and text and do this and log in. If I know, hey, they're gonna click this and within 2 seconds you could leave this review, hey, within 2 seconds you can leave this, it's as simple as a text message. I've gotten a good response rate from that. There's other things that you can try to get a better response rate as well, right? So handling complaints as well, those are gonna be good, and actually they build your brand's trustworthiness. So understand that complaints aren't always a bad thing. Negative reviews, they look bad in public, of course, but those aren't a bad thing as well. These are people that are taking time to give you a piece of their mind, right? The next video we got is, when should I start automating parts of my business? I'll tell you now, should have been yesterday, but we'll talk about that in the next video.